Hey there. Welcome one and all to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. We are here at the Xerox server for Gods on the Wing. And I would be Morski, also known as Morski Edge. And I am joined by a very wonderful person. You like to say hi?
I would like to say hi. Hi, my name is Whis, and I'm going to be playing a pumpkin.
And on that note, I will not be playing a wizard or a blood hunter today. No, I'm playing a certain paladin rogue. Uh,
we might have pumpkin wizard shenanigans some of the time.
oh yeah, that will be fun. But going off of that, so a certain paladin rogue. Well, so there's an angel loose in Halloweentown. Her name is Riina, and it's been some time since certain events. So she's actually managed to clear up some of the fuss and trouble in Yeast. Like Tone has absolutely been doing his best. This is also not a job that he really wants, but they had to make do. So, things are probably cleared up and more chill at this point. And, on today's day, he was probably having a nice time with his brothers and probably told Riina through their letters that, yeah, I'll be busy on this day because we'll be doing so and so. So she has free time, honestly. So why not? This place has been nice enough by now, and let it not be said she's not grateful for pretty much shenanigans Halloweentown has done. I look directly at certain events, so
Yeah.
place is nice. She really is here to just vibe and have a chill time. So I guess first things first, I get to roll survival.
I
Because
love
it's
starting
great.
with survival.
Because it's great. She doesn't have proficiency in this. Wait, I forgot that. Oh, she still did really well.
Yeah.
So, possibly she said hi to Kara. In fact, she probably did say hi to Kara, because I don't see why he wouldn't have mentioned this. Um, and for now, she's just wondering. She's actually got her halo hidden. Just simply to, a deity here? Nah, she's just a traveler from Yeast. Don't worry about her. How, I guess, how well she's hiding it is another thing entirely, but
I mean, she's a white and blue angel toon, I assume. So God or not, that's a thing that toons can be like. Meh.
yeah. Like, to be fair, she is real kind, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's lived in Toonland for a very long time now. So, she understands what's up, and I imagine she has a good idea of what gags are like. Like, she's lived in Ninequill for over 1,000 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But,
You'd hope you would have got it after that long.
yeah, so, no, she's definitely, an Ninequill native, but she is actually real kind.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
in theory, she could hide both the wings and the halo, but for today, she's just hiding the halo.
Yeah, I think
So,
the only thing that really makes her stand out in Halloweentown is her color palette.
yeah, pretty much, this is a person with a lot of white under color palettes.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
say, looking at how it's 80% that.
yeah, I
Uh,
mean, fair's where it's due. Ghosts can be white, but
yeah,
she doesn't strike me as a ghost-like person.
No,
No. But it's
too
okay.
cheerfully aggressive for that, you know?
Yeah. Um, well, would Rena like to roll a perception then?
Sure, I'd love to. This one she does have proficiency in. Let me double check what the thing is. Right, it's this. Well, the good news is
Holy fucking
she
shit!
the good news is because she is a rogue, that one becomes a 10, so make that a 37.
I didn't look at the actual roll, I just looked at the result. Like, oh yeah, 28. I'm sorry, is that a natural 1? This is a 28 on a natural 1! Wowza!
See, I make that a 37 because she is a rogue.
God.
Like, there is a name for this.
Oh, incredible. Okay. Well, Rena can see with astounding clarity. Alright. So,
Yeah, here we go, reliable talent. When you make an ability check with proficiency, treat a roll less than 10 as a 10.
beauty.
Rogues
Spectacular.
are fun.
I love that. Wonderful. Alrighty. Well, as Rena is moving through Halloweentown, she can. I'm assuming she's been here before. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do
Um.
not know how much she's been in the past, but she has definitely been here before, cause she kind of kicked the doors to the Halloween mansion open at the end of Hugh's lore game.
Alrighty. Okay. Well. As she's moving through Halloweentown, the first thing that becomes very apparent is that there's a different vibe to the air a bit. She doesn't think it's necessarily anything to do with Kara having changed, but there's something else. There's a new magic in the area. She's definitely picking up some sort of deity magic in the area, which was not present the last time she was here. And because she is a god of over 1,000 years young, she knows exactly what other gods like feel like, how their magic is different from your common or garden variety mortal magic user.
Yeah,
And
she might have an idea.
yeah. And as a result of that being a 37, she is able to pinpoint it with such accuracy that even Kara wouldn't be able to get her off course, tracking it down should she so choose.
Honestly, yeah, like she's bored. Why not? Maybe this is a local. She should at least say hi, right? It's polite.
Indeed. Well, following the very distinct I'm detecting another god over here ping, which is if she were a toon, it would absolutely be like a quest marker going here, here, here. But
Honestly, Rita's lived long enough in Einquell. Like, just we can say it happens as a treat. Just like Rita looks to the side, just like
yep,
vibe check in that direction.
yeah. And she moves through the town towards it, and she comes to the pumpkin patch. And there is it's a very iconic landmark of Halloweentown. It's this big hill in the middle of the pumpkin patch that kind of curls in on itself. And
Ooh,
sitting,
scenic.
very scenic, surrounded by loads and loads and loads of very orange pumpkins. And sitting on top of this curly hill, there is quite a tall figure, and he's not facing Reno as she approaches, he's facing in the opposite direction. And yeah, he's just sitting on the hill, chilling.
Just vibing.
And I'm gonna give you also for that 37. You can hear a little sort of kind of noise that sounds like a blade of some sort moving through timber.
Oh, okay. Wood, like, Irina's gonna assume carving, so.
Hmm.
Or would it be, well, you did say timber. Her other thought would have been, pumpkin carving. Uh, but with that, considering your lad is not looking in her direction, I'm just gonna roll stealth, because, well, she's not doing it on purpose.
It's just a rogue thing.
Yeah.
Alright. If she rolls higher
Um,
than his passive, I'll roll to contest.
you might need to roll to test, because that's another 37.
Wow. Can you perceive that high? I don't think so. Oh, I don't think so. Well,
Oh,
let's give it a try anyway. Nah. Nah.
oh,
No. That's a
oh,
21.
buddy.
It's not garbage, but it ain't a 37.
Yeah, fair enough. It's like just simply because your lad has looked away for someone who is very bright. She is surprisingly good at hiding.
Mm.
So it's not even on purpose. He just casually strolls on over.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess on that note, hey Whis,
Mm.
how's Korvits doing on today's day?
He's doing pretty alright. Gibbs is sleeping, which is why he's out here on his own. But he's sitting on the top of the hill, and he's got his legs crossed under him, and he's just got a little whittling knife, and he's just carving a little fox shape out of this chunk of wood. And
Oh,
it's actually not particularly small of a piece of wood because he is 8'11". So like I am picturing this piece of wood to be like the size of a softball, maybe. Um, but yeah, he is very, very carefully and delicately carving out a fox shape out of this piece of wood. And he's just sort of humming to himself as he's doing it. And it's very much of a.
bless. Well, I suppose with that. Hey Korvits,
Mm.
uh, now you don't see her, now you do. Wow, this sure is a bright person who's just kind of appeared in front of you and is waking up. She goes, hi.
I am just going to roll him a whiz save real quick. See how well he startles.
Oh, rip.
Oh, nah, he's fine. Oops. Yeah. What's your whiz save? +8. Yeah, no, he's okay. Like, he is definitely going to sort of stop and then look up, but then he's going to sort of jolt back a little bit because you are not even remotely on the list of people he was expecting to see.
No, that's so fair. I'm
Uh,
looking at Re-
Hi.
Hey, so you're the DTI I felt earlier, right? The name is Riina. Who are you?
uh, Korvits Owl House. Um, you could feel me?
Yeah, I know a trick or two.
Huh.
Uh, I suppose first things first, the name is Serena. Uh, I come from Ys. I am one of the deities that kind of. Rena pauses and it's like, well, she doesn't exactly rule it. She lives there, though. I guess I'm one of the two that preside over Ys. But I suppose just saying hi? I'm guessing you're a resident of this town, yes?
I'm gonna quickly roll him a history to see if he remembers where Ys is. How long has Ys been there? Has it been there since the last erasure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeast has been there for about 1,000 years. So it would. So yeah, you do recognize it.
Yeah. Okay. Would he have known that there was two deities that just hang out in the town with that 22?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, he'd know that. She says she sort of presides there, and that is true. Since the twin deities of Ys have been there since forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as far as mortals unaware, and if he's managed to speak to some deities who know of Ys, they would also know that those two have been there for a very long time now.
Well, this is only the second deity he's ever spoken to, so no hope of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna just sort of blink and then sort of straighten up.
Wait. Yeast? As in the town that's sort of in the mountain range up on the northeast-ish from here. That yeast?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh,
I live there
okay.
with my twin.
Yeah, I do distinctly remember there being something about two gods that just hang out in yeast. Uh, Great. Well, welcome to Halloweentown. I'm Korvits. Yeah, I am a local. I've been on an extended absence from the localness for a while, but now I'm back and back to being local again, thankfully. What brings you to Halloweentown? Did you come to see like Jacques or it's honestly it would not surprise me if he just had gods dropping in to say hi. That sounds like the kind of thing that Jacques would just do.
Well, you know that politely crossing, putting your hands together, crossing the fingers. Well, I am here because I am bored. And Halloweentown was quite nice to a certain little brother of mine, so I figured it would be nice to explore this place some more, you know?
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, it's definitely got some great things going for it. I mean, I'm very, very biased, but I'm also very, very correct in how awesome Halloweentown is.
There's nothing agreeably, and be fair, she does agree. Halloweentown is quite nice.
Okay, well, we have one bored goddess at our doorstep. Neat. You'll have to kind of forgive me a little bit. I have been a god for 3 months. So, there's probably some sort of etiquette I'm not getting, and you're also only the second deity I've ever met since ever. So, I'm not exactly invited to the colleagues' picnic here yet.
Rina's just noting that down, 3 months, huh? And, though her outward reaction is, that's, fair enough, don't worry. On my own end, I was just checking to make sure that, I'm not crossing any boundaries by visiting.
Hey, look, before I went on my extended leave of absence, this was still sort of my turf, and I was always open to visitors. Visitors are awesome. Visitors have cool stories to tell and experiences to share, which is something that I greatly enjoy, and that has not changed since becoming a god. One day, when I say these words in this order, it will stop being so damn weird.
There's a pause, And then Riina just gives you a pat. Don't
Thank you.
worry. Like, honestly speaking, it's fine. So you were mortal before, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as I knew, I am assuming so. The other deity that I've met, Aeon. I'm sure you're familiar with Aeon, god of time or
Here's a,
whatnot.
here's a good question. How well known is Aeon?
Among other gods, I imagine a lot more than among mortals.
See, here's the... Well, no, they're the same modifier. Riina, do you know?
That's an 11!
Her religion is a +5, and so is her history.
Poppy, why are you on my desk?
So, maybe she heard of them. Maybe, I don't know. That was an 11. like Rita's nodding, and she's like, "Yeah, no, it's no problem. Like, you're really doing well from what I can see for someone getting used to things." Uh, I, I think I might have heard of Aeon. Maybe I'd probably need to ask my sister. She knows these things better. Anyways, um, you look interesting. Would you like some help with stuff?
um, you're not really one for preamble, are you? Well, I mean, I don't really have much on. I was just, making a idol. What was I making? Oh, it's a fox. Yeah. Funny that.
Let me just put this away. He he just shoves it into his scarf along with the whole ass knife. Just shove it in there, because that's where his hammer space is. But
No, that's so fair. But like Rita's like curious, like it's not quite the knife cat emoji, but you know it's the same kind of. Oh.
Colin 3C. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Well, what?
You mentioned it was interesting. Someone close to you, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, I know. I happen to have a fox who I'm particularly fond of. Might actually be engaged to, and something like that. Yes. No, I am very fond of a particular fox. Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Thanks. We got some shit to sort out before anything in that department can happen, but more gods that we have to kind of deal with and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
And he kind of just sort of pulls a face. Like, I think there's a default emoji that is the exact sort of face that he pulls. Hold on, let me have a quick look. It's like this one.
Oh.
It's just for a minute, it's just a bit of a and then he lets it go.
Oh, that's so fair though. Like, on it, which is pretty much Trina's reaction. Like, yeah, it takes a little bit of figuring those things out. Which, hey, Korvits can roll an insight if he wants.
Alright, sure. This is something that he is particularly good at. Is she going to contest? Or not really?
Nah.
Alright.
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to beat that anyways. Her deception's a +5. So, like, you think she has a boyfriend herself.
Aww.
So, yeah. Like,
Well,
she gets it.
very encouraging, actually, to get the vibe that, I'm not the only one who's, got a little bit of a someone, huh?
And he kind of leans his elbow out and is doing the nudge with the elbow.
Riina just gives a knife. Now this is a knife cat face back. We've managed to work some things out. It's it depends on the detail. I admit my own case of who I have as a boyfriend might not be quite as common, but I've heard of a fair few who have come together with both mortals or with other deities, so you're not alone there, yeah?
Well, that's encouraging. Um, yeah, no, I like it a lot. I may need to get better at this whole god thing so that I don't put them into extreme amounts of danger. I may have already accidentally warlock packed them, but oh yeah, hey, you know what? You might be a good person to ask. How in the goddamn, if you'll excuse the phrase, do I do this whole like followers thing? Because you know you got warlocks and you got clerics and you got paladins. Like, does that just happen? Is it supposed to just happen? Or is there supposed to be some sort of effort involved? Because, quite frankly, if it's just gonna happen, I think I need to stop talking to people ever because I feel like there should be some level of consent here.
Oh dear. Rina has the expression of oh dear. Well, I guess first things first. Let me sit down, and
Oh
she will
yeah,
sit
please,
down.
please do. Here, I'll shuffle over.
Thank you. Sidebar: I was reminded of these two's height difference.
I know, right?
Yeah, which for context, everyone else, one of these two is 5'6", so like an average height.
And the other one is 8'11". Like, she comes up to his waist.
Rina internally is just, now I know what it's like for Hugh when he's with his brothers.
Short boy is short.
He is. But Rina sits down and like, yeah, I can definitely do my best to give answers. We could do something like 20 questions, I guess, but...
I'll take anything at this point because there isn't exactly a manual, and the last time Aeon gave me advice, it kind of sent me on a little bit of an anxiety spiral. So, and I'll
Not
take anything
ideal.
here. Not ideal. I kind of lost control of my magic just a smidge. Also, the whole accidentally warlocking my partner, it was throwing up eldritch blasts out of its mouth. We destroyed the landscape on the way home because it didn't stop.
Oh dear.
I looked it up since. It's a cantrip. It can just keep going.
Yeah, Dear Lord, what has Anne been teaching you? Don't they know anything about this? Okay, well...
Quite frankly, Aeon didn't teach me shit, apart from just going, hey, guess what? You're a god now. LOL.
Marina just face palms. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I guess first things first, my congratulations and condolences for becoming a deity.
It is a bit of both, isn't it?
Yeah. In my case, at least, I was born like my sister.
I mean, that makes sense. I wouldn't imagine that all gods started out like I did. You kind of
Yeah.
have to have some that were designed that way.
Well, there's a little bit of everything. You have some deities are born, some come from mortals, some are created, so. But I guess good things to start off from is, do you know what your domains might be by any chance?
The closest I can guess is what Aeon said is the god of Halloween, which, I mean, is a step up from being the king of Halloween like I used to be. But not
Fair
it's
enough.
just like I mean, you're just talking about the stuff I'm good at because shit, I'm good at fire. Fire I am distinctly good at. I am also very fond of things like pranks and japes and good-hearted spooks and things. The stuff that Halloween is good at.
Okay, yeah, no. That's good. It's a good starter. Cause following up on your questions about clerics, paladins, and warlocks, um, it tends to help having a good grasp on what your domain is. I'm guessing you were a spellcaster before you became a deity as well, yeah?
Oh yeah, definitely a spellcaster before.
Okay, yeah, it might be good. So it's probably good to have a good note of what how your abilities might have changed or gotten stronger after being a deity. And if you need help practicing, I can help with that actually. Uh
Actually, you bring that up. Are you a deity who is like immortal in the way that you just don't age and don't die, or immortal in the cannot be killed kind of thing? Because I understand that immortal, ageless, and won't die of natural causes, and immortal cannot physically be like killed or anything are two very distinct things.
yeah, they are. In my case, so I would be an angel. Uh while it is hard, it is possible to kill one of my kind.
Okay. Hard is good. Given as, if I'm remembering my history right, uh, you are probably the oldest person I have ever met outside of Aeon. Who does? I'm just gonna put no as an age for Aeon because they're a god of time. They are as old as everything and nothing at the same time. So whatever. I discount
Yeah.
them. They are an outlier who cannot be counted. So okay, you are now the
Yeah,
oldest person I've ever met.
tends to be that way with time deities.
Right? I mean, I've only met one, but right? Yeah, okay. So now you are the oldest person I've ever met, so you're going to be very strong, is my guess. So the chances of me being able to wipe you out would be very slim, which makes you a perfect sparring partner, actually, because I did spar with my friend Jacques. I'm sure you've met Jacques. Jacques is awesome, but
Oh
mortal,
yeah, he's a very pleasant person.
ain't he just? I am very fond of Jacques, but
Mhm.
critically mortal. So, like, sparring with him is fun. Very fun. Very fun. However, still don't want to hurt the guy. Not that I necessarily
Yeah.
want to hurt you either, however, I feel like I'd be hard pressed to do so. So, we don't have to tonight. Like, I mean, this is our first impressions round here,
Oh,
but perhaps we could tee something up. I mean, I've not really been out of town apart from, like, by, 3 kilometers outside the border since coming back. So, have I ever been to Ys? Have I ever been to Ys? Did I go before I left? Huh.
did you? Like, presumably we didn't meet at the time, but like,
Oh gosh, no. But have I ever been to Ys? Let me think.
I'm just gonna roll him a
girl,
history.
yeah.
That is a 6 on the dice. What's your history? 10. So it's a 16. I don't think he can remember.
Oh, fair.
It was 200 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't remember. I
That's fair.
do not remember if I've ever been to Ys. I think I remember where Ys is. Our borders didn't go quite up that far. Hold on. We went up to near where the stupid Disney person lives now. Ys is there.
And he's kind of got his eyes closed and is sort of like drawing a map with a finger in the air as he thinks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, our
considering
borders didn't go
Riina
quite
would,
that far.
yeah. Like, I was gonna say as well, considering Riina would have been around and doing stuff at that point, would she have known?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Like, I don't think she even really necessarily needs to roll a history or anything because she has been there since day dot, basically.
Yeah.
She would know that one of the major powers in Ankwell up until about 180 or so years ago was the kingdom of Amatis, which encompassed most of the southwestern corner of this part of the continent. So
Okay.
it like included bits of Toontown, and then it went sideways to where into like the Dreamworkers sort of area, but it more sort of skirted around the bottom, like underneath where the mountain range sort of ends in the middle. It didn't get quite up far enough to be neighbors with Yeast necessarily.
Fair, not quite at the river
No,
near that mountain. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
no, not up
Rena
that
will
high.
you will see Rena think for a moment and then she'll chip in with, yeah, I don't believe your country bordered with Yeast exactly. Uh, we were a bit too north for that.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, I did visit a lot of neighbors back in the day, but also I didn't actually end up with that much time due to much. Given as my leave of absence when I was like 21. At least I didn't have all the growing up that other tunes and real kind have to do. So I got a head start, I guess. I completely lost my train of thought. However,
Well,
what?
I suppose to get back to things. Yeah, I don't mind being a sparring partner. I'm sure it'll be fun.
That
I
was
like a
what it
good
was.
fight.
Yes,
Um,
yes, I
and
could. We could
I
spar, and I could not accidentally kill you. Ha! Perfect.
yeah, no, I understand. I understand as well. You are very new to this, so we can work on helping you get accuracy and precision with your stronger skills.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the offer, and I say yes. I accept this offer of assistance. Damn.
Arena gives the double thumbs up of no problem. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Gosh, I there is a lot about this whole gods thing that I'm not particularly familiar with. I wasn't a religious man beforehand, so it's not something I really got
Fair
into.
enough.
Um,
Like, I know on my own end, it helps a lot that I've spent so long in Einquell around mortals, so while I might not be one myself, I think I have a better idea than some of, I guess, how to person normally.
I mean, that can be hard at the best of times. I am lucky that I am part
Fair
bard,
enough.
so, you may have noticed I talk a lot. It's because I'm a bard. Bards, they talk all the time.
Hey, it's a good skill, like my sister.
Yeah, I find that if you talk enough, it's quite disarming. Of some people would be a bit hostile, and you just talk friendly at them. I am not a wordsmith, am I? Yeah, no, you just keep talking. You just keep talking, and you make a fool out of yourself just a little bit, and then people kind of relax a little. It's a good
Like,
tactic.
Rina nudged sagely and it's a great skill to oftentimes Faye would distract people and then I'd take the time to steal their food so we can snack on it later. It's the good stuff.
What? You're telling me that the
Rina,
twin goddesses of yeast go double teaming people for petty theft?
yeah. Look, when you have to deal with all of those fussy nobles, you might as well get something out of it, you know?
Oh man, right? Some of the people we had
Mm,
in our court had a stick shoved up their butt so far, it might as well be coming out of their nose. God damn! I don't even know
I
where these people
know.
came from. Actually, I do know where these people came from. I don't remember because I don't care anymore because it was 180 years ago. But damn, these people would just come in like the sun shined out of their buttholes. I'm just like, sir, you are on my turf? and I do not think you are that impressive, but you can't say that. You can't tell them that you think they're
Yeah,
being a pompous shit. That's just not
honestly,
something you could do.
yeah, like honestly, it's a wonder Tone hasn't burnt down some of their houses yet. Like, it's great that he didn't.
It's
I
usually
hear there
better
were
if
also.
they don't do things like that.
So I did hear it almost happened a few times with his friends, but oh well.
I like the sound of this guy.
Oh, well, I certainly hope so. Which, yeah, considering you got like a crazy number earlier, that's the boyfriend in question.
Aww.
uh, so Riina will actually continue on. So following up on all this, um, specifically when it comes to clerics and paladins and warlocks, how they happen is different. Um, so you said your significant other accidentally became your warlock, yeah?
I mean, that's what I figure. I mean, Eldritch Blast is pretty indicative of a Warlock pact, and it certainly couldn't do that before kind of kiss. But, also, like,
No.
I can kind of feel it. I can't
Okay.
really explain it. I mean, I'm very used to having, soul bonds with others. It's something I've had since the day I was designed. But
Mm-hmm.
after this happened, I could kind of feel it in my heart. Not just in a lovey-dovey kind of, yeah, kind of way, that too, but
Mm-hmm.
genuinely, like I can still feel like a little candle flame just here, inside my ribs.
Okay, then yeah, that would indicate that your significant other is your warlock. And so warlocks tend to be the most accidental. In theory, uh, what you did was give them a bit of your power, and then they gave you a bit of their power. Um,
Huh.
so between warlocks and their patrons, it can differ how these things go about. I think in Yutu's case, it sounds like an accident, but the best I'd advise is that like you keep open communication and you talk about it. The general rules of like practicing magic and figuring how things stand should work for that. Um, Likely this issue, like the issue with accidental warlocking, uh, when you have a better grasp of your power and how to control it, like it should be less of an issue. Because a lot of the time, it tends to be a warlock pact tends to be something purposeful by the patron, but it's not always the case.
Okay, good. Well, that would indicate that it's not just me that fucks up in this way. Cool. I'm glad I'm not setting a precedent there, Rena. Okay, cool.
Nah, don't
Well,
worry. There have been plenty of fools who have done this in the past.
uh, yeah, I'm really hoping that there is a line in the sand or somewhere that I crossed with Gibbs, but won't necessarily cross with the other people I'm particularly fond of because while I'm particularly fond of them in A, slightly different ways, and B, wouldn't necessarily want to impose this upon them. It's,
No, that's.
hmm.
I get that. And warlocks can be a rather personal thing, and it's also a thing where lines can blur. So
Hmm.
it should be less of an issue when you get a better grasp of your skills.
Okay.
I admit I have not had many warlocks in the past myself, and the one I did have was a very personal case. So that one was admittedly rather accidental too, but it worked out.
Well, that's good to hear. I won't pry. You don't have to tell me. But okay. All right. Well, then, what about paladins and clerics then? Like, I mean, Asclepius is Arx's husband. Asclepius, he's a cleric. I'm not sure who to, but he's definitely a cleric. But I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I could just ask. I could ask him, but
you
I,
could ask, and that does tend to help for these kind of things.
I imagine it would. But like, at the same time, I don't want to be annoying. I mean, I can be very annoying. I'm very self-aware when it comes to this. The number of people I have just annoyed the socks off. Damn, I am very irritating. But like,
It's great annoying people into compliance, isn't it? Says Riina, who so totally didn't do something similar to a certain cartomancer. But
Rip Decimal.
well, it wasn't quite that. Admittedly, it was those two like pointing knives at each other and deciding, okay, yeah, we both care for you. So long as you don't cause trouble, I won't either. But
Bless.
you know,
Um,
but uh, like Rena will say just like, I mean, there's no harm in asking genuinely. If he doesn't want to say, I imagine he'll just say so, and that's that. No.
I suppose. It seems like such a personal thing is the thing. And again, like I wasn't particularly in with the whole gods thing before. And I don't want to offend Asclepius because I like that guy. And it's not
He
something that I've
is very
necessarily
good.
heard him talk about. So it's not I don't know. I've had some trouble getting a read on this one.
That's understandable. Like, it's another one of those things that depends on the person, but generally it's not an issue to ask. I imagine he will say that whether he does or doesn't want to talk about it, and like, well, whatever his choice is, that'll be that. But it may also just be a case that he wasn't asked, so he didn't mention it. I got
Yeah?
that kind of impression when I met him. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe.
Um, I'll leave that up to you to decide, but from my own experience, like it can be personal, but it doesn't have to be.
Hmm.
Plenty of clerics don't mind mentioning they have ties to.
Hmm.
Oh, but to get back on topic, so uh clerics and paladins tend to be far less accidental, and how they do it is in different ways. Um This I'll definitely be able to help with as well. I got a fair few paladins and clerics back in Ys alongside my twin.
Well, I
And
mean, I suppose if you can just walk up to your god, you're you're gonna know that they're there, you know.
mm-hmm. But to get onto that, how paladins gain their power is by making a vow. They
Hmm.
make a they make a vow essentially or an oath, and from that oath they gain power. So
Do
it
I
can
have to
be to a
do anything
or
when they like give like accept the oath or what have you, and then give them something? Is it a give and take kind of thing, or is it?
like Rina does like the expression, and it's okay. So genuinely, it depends. The power itself comes from the oath. You don't always have to do something. Um, Paladins tend to work along the lines of like they see that something needs to change, and so they decide on their own power that, hey, this is something they want to do. So, if the deity in question knows the paladin and is close to them, they can like help influence things and help push some of that divine power onto them, but it doesn't have to happen. I also know of cases where humans have made an oath to some more unsavory folks. I also know of some who have made oaths to demons, and some that have just simply made an oath to a specific concept, and so they've gained power. So that is something that's more dependent on the mortal and less on deity.
Right. Okay.
And then for clerics, uh, then I suppose you could call it the middle ground between paladins and warlocks. So for clerics, it is also something that's on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes from both the deity and the mortal. And on the cleric's end, they need to have faith in the deity and to ask for this power, and then the deity grants it.
Right. Okay. I think that makes
Like,
sense. I mean, I'm assuming that the whole asking for it doesn't have to be like face to face. It could be a little bit more like what do you call it?
yeah,
Like a prayer or some shit like that.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. Because I didn't think most gods kicked around on with mortals. I mean, I do it because bugger if I know what else to do. And obviously there's you too, so it's not like we
Hmm.
don't sometimes hang out here. I mean, why wouldn't we hang out here? Here is cool.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
Actually, that's a
So,
question I got. That's a question I got. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. That's a question I got. There's
it's
here.
fine.
What's the alternative to here?
Um, okay, so I suppose to answer something previous. So, what I found is that in Einquil, a lot of the deities tend to have much more personal contact with those around them, followers and otherwise. While in the real kind continents, generally deities will pick a champion and that's how, well, act through them, so to say. Um,
Hmm. Okay.
Now, so there's obviously here in the world that one can be, uh, for where else there is to be, there are different planes. It's not uncommon for a deity to have a demi-plane of their own. Uh, for us angels, we come from a place called the celestial plane. That's
Oh.
where we that's where we are all born, and it is somewhere we can go back to fairly easily. Though though there are a lot of us there, a lot of us choose to come out in the world.
Hmm.
I I have a cousin down southeast over in Ghibli, who has been staying in a forest for the past 200-ish years, as an example. And I know one of my well, he's also a cousin, but he might as well be an uncle or a granduncle. He's one of the oldest angels around who has been one for a very long time.
Hmm. Okay.
I I know that the Weave of Fate resides in its demiplane, and in theory, each fate has a demiplane they're tied to. Though they can't always access it, that requires a degree of power.
I'm gonna roll him a religion.
Yeah.
Okay, Korvits?
Oh?
Sure, roll a nat 20. I didn't really pay attention to religion before I left, he says, knowing exactly who you're talking about and like everything about them.
I mean,
Korvits, you dickhead.
I mean, maybe he knows peace. Yeah, maybe he knows peace. Maybe he heard Lynn rant about decimals sometime. Who knows?
Yeah, that's not out of the question. Shit, yeah, okay. God. Of all the things to roll a nat 20 on, Korvits, God.
Sitting here looking at RJ's we've Lord just like, haha, hi.
Okay. Alright, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I don't think there have ever been any reports of actually seeing the fate, gosh. But no, okay, no, those are definitely deities who I recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I assume like the ones that everybody knows, like
Mm-hmm.
Misfortune and Lady Luck and all them, like the Wishing Star, and them
Yeah.
kind of people. They've obviously got like a demiplane or something because like again, you don't
Yeah.
see them wandering around the world. That would cause such a ruckus. Everyone would be like,
Oh.
holy shit, why are they here? Especially if it was
Not
Misfortune,
wrong.
they'd be like, oh no, we're in for some shit right now. But
Yeah, I
okay,
haven't met them personally, but they have their own place of residence. I have heard they have their own warlocks, though.
I mean, makes sense if you're one of the biggest, most well-known deities in Anquil. You'd assume you would have some followers of some variety.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And in the end, handling deities is like handling mortals. You got all kinds.
Suppose
They
so.
do things they do things in different ways. They perhaps have different origins and different sorts of powers.
And I
But
mean, like,
what's
you
the
look like
deity
a
is
real
like?
kind. You look like you're like a real kind angel kind of thing, whereas I am distinctly
Oh,
still housing. So, I mean,
thank you.
assumedly there is like, you got your toon deities and your whatever else, human deities, your elven deities, or whatever the heck. I
Hmm.
assume I'm not some just so I know I don't just look housing. I am still actually housing. I think, as far as I know.
And he's just sort of looking himself over and like peeling back his glove, and you can see him sort of it's actually quite morbid. He kind of just sort of snaps a little bit of the bone in his forearm and looks at his wireframe underneath and then just sort of rubs it back on.
Why did I look at my wireframe? Gosh darn it! Ouch, that stings! That was stupid. Oh,
Riina is going to give you a pet and gonna go ahead and use lay on hands. If your lad did take any damage, it has now been healed.
thank you. Thank you.
It's
I
fine.
I am prone to fits of stupidity. Unfortunately.
Ah, aren't we all?
I certainly hope so. It'd make me feel a lot better.
It's okay. Remind me sometime to give you embarrassing stories about the people around me.
I am always up for some stories.
F in the chat for Hugh, because Reina will be telling stories about things he did.
F.
Um, so what you mentioned is definitely the case. You certainly look like a toon deity to me, and you can see in my own case I am real kind.
Mm-hmm.
Angels tend to be real kind, but they don't have to actually, especially since Einquell's been here for quite a while. I actually into Einquell a while back. And
Ah,
I
okay.
have seen my fair share of both real kind and toon deities.
Yeah, okay. Do toon deities get wiped out in erasures? Because, I mean, I was made not that far after the last one, and obviously I don't know anything about the Anquil that was here before the erasure, so.
So it depends on it depends on the deity essentially. Some can get wiped out if they're very weak. Uh
Awkward
yeah.
tug of the scarf.
Yeah, just if a deity is very weak, they can get wiped out, but a lot of the time, no, they stay. Though they can change in shape and form as the new Einquell comes into existence. Generally, after erasures, I tend to be quite weakened, and Faye and I need to stay up in the celestial realm for a little while before we can return and, well, get yeast set back up.
Okay. I mean, ideally, we won't be having another erasure for an extended period because, even if I would end up fine, there is a number of people who would not have any defenses against that shit, so hopefully
Yeah.
we have like a millennia before the next one. That would be great. You hear that, Erasure? Fuck off!
Here's hoping. I think, I know on my own end, as the player, Silver Screen did something about that, right? To cause erasures happening, so much.
I genuinely don't remember. I had it summarized for me because it was underway long before I joined.
Oh, fair. I've never managed to, sit down and watch, but I think I remember hearing that. I'm just wondering how much of open knowledge it would be.
Shrug. Not
Yeah.
sure.
Oh well.
I think at this point, what Korvits is going to do, he's going to sit back and put a hand to his chin and be really thoughtful for a minute, and then look over at Riina, and then he's going to make a very pointed look at her wings.
You,
Like,
you appear to be a winged angel. I mean, I don't know if there are non-winged ones, but you have two wings on your back there. I can't help but notice.
I do.
This may
Why,
come as a very
interested in
strange
taking a
question,
fly?
Rena, but how fast can you fly? Obviously, I assume they're not for decoration, but.
No, I do. I can in fact fly with them. I'd like to think I'm not too slow.
Hmm. This is going to be incredibly unfair of me to propose, but are you the kind of person who likes a little bit of a wager?
Rena leans forward, uh, just like, oh, I'm listening.
A race between you and me.
Sure, why not?
And if I win, you take me to visit Yeast sometime soon. If you win, you can name your price.
How about you take me to the best place to buy cakes in town?
Ooh. Okay.
Do you have a
Yes,
deal?
I think we absolutely have a deal with that one, madam.
You just stick a hand out to shake.
Riina shakes it.
Beauty.
I think at this point, like, cause they're sitting down on like a wall or something, right?
Oh, they're sitting on the hill. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like Riina will stand up. You see her shake her wings a bit, and the halo actually appears. For this, she's not gonna bother to hide it.
Oh, hot damn, you even got the little hat.
Yeah, I tend to hide it when I'm just going around, cause it tends to be noticeable, you know? Easier to hide when it's not on display, but well, I
I
don't think
gesture at
people
all of
will
you,
notice
Riina.
too much. Riina shrugs. Look, I've seen plenty of people with wings before. I haven't seen that many with halos.
I mean, this is Inkwell. That's not the most unusual thing I could possibly think of.
I mean, fair enough, but at least amongst real kind? Hmm.
I mean, yeah, no, I'll pay that. All right, yeah, sure. All right. How far are we racing?
Honestly, that's more a question for me to ask you. Which part of town will we be racing to? Because I haven't been able to explore here much.
Hmm.
Not yet, at least.
Well, if that's the case,
Ideally somewhere with like an obvious landmark so I can find it easy.
yes, it's not really fair if you don't know where you're going. Okay. All right. Can you see that forest over there? The one that kind of looks dead. I mean, it's not dead, but the one over there that looks dead in the distance there.
Oh, yeah. The
The
one in that direction?
yeah, the current border of town is just beyond that forest, and so here's my think. Here's my think, Funk. We go
Hmm?
to the forest, to the border, which is just on the other side of the forest, and then we turn around and we come back to the manor over here.
Okay, sure.
Because then we got a little bit of the extra difficulty of having to change the direction. Yeah? You bump it up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Of course.
All right, cool. I've not gone all out on a flight before. Well,
Since.
since coming back. So, all right, cool. Let's give this a try.
And he's gonna stand up. He roll his shoulders, and the two long strips of fabric that are the ends of his scarf, they just sort of flare out as if they were in the wind, and then there's just sort of a poof as they turn into these big black raven wings.
Oh,
And
that's a fun bit of contrast, though.
and he's just grinning.
All right. Do we want to start from down here and go up and that way, or start from up there?
Honestly, I'm good with either.
All right, I like me a good fast takeoff. How about we start from here?
Sure.
All right, great.
Let's have a good race then, and you are given a grin from Riina.
Ready, set, go.
Now, how do we want to do this? Do we want to?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, I'm just gonna real quick see what kind of spells Riina has. Like, just to see if she has anything to boost her speed, but otherwise, like, on her end, it's gonna be movement 30 feet, action dash, bonus action dash, which is 90 feet total.
Mm-hmm. All right. Cool. Let me see. Now you're a rogue. Do you have access to that? Cat,
If you
get
have
off
at least
the
two
desk.
levels,
Get off the desk, cat.
if you have at least 2 levels of rogue, then yeah, you should be able to bonus action dash.
Yes, he can bonus action dash. Oh, okay. Hold on. I've actually written all of like the features and stuff into his character sheet. And it's like, okay, he has a flight speed of 30 feet in the air, not his full 50 feet of movement if he's on his feet. So that means that they're at least evenly matched.
Hey.
Alright, cool. So they're both got 30 feet of flight speed. They are both dashing. So...
I do just want to say this is like a lovely bit of contrast though, because we have your light with like the giant black raven wings. Rina's own wings, they are white, they are bright. They're also swallow's wings.
Lovely.
So she is very nimble.
Do we want to roll maybe a dex challenge? To see who wins?
Sure. Do we want to do a dex save or like an acrobatics or just flat dex?
I feel like this would be an athletics kind of thing. I mean, I'm just looking at the little icon that it's got on the character sheet. Even though the little guy is doing the runny thing, like I feel like athletics would be a good one to add.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna ask not athletics.
Huh?
I mean, we can, but you wanna know what Rina's dump stat is? It's strength.
Oh, okay. Oh, dear.
And so I suggested dex because I imagine both our kids are good at that.
Yeah, they are. Okay, do we want to add acrobatics then?
Whis, you there? You cut out on me.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that better? All right. So do we
Yeah,
want
I
to
can
do
hear you.
straight dex, or do we want to do acrobatics?
I'm honestly good with both.
I mean,
should we do straight dex? Like, should we do straight dex? Because that's probably more fair. Rina has a plus 27 to acrobatics.
Yeah, Korvits has a plus 24.
Hey, nice.
Yeah. Fun thing about the way the DMV makes character sheets for everyone playing along at home, even when you have characters who are level 40 and have a 23 in dex, the modifier is still only a plus 6. Because that's just how it works. You don't get more. So honestly, we could do either. We could do either because they're relatively evenly matched.
Okay, cool.
Let's do acrobatics because I like the big numbers because they're stupid.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Here.
I have a suspicion that Riina might have won.
Okay, so make that to 37. It should still be beatable for your
except for the fact that he rolled a 4 on the dice. So that is absolutely not enough. Oh, I feel like she nailed the turn a little bit better than him because she's got those nice little dainty nimble wings and just did a near full 180 pivot in the air, whereas he had to actually take a big turn and then he's just following after her as fast as he can going,
Shit, you're a lot faster than I thought you'd be.
I mean, I'm a swallow. What do you expect?
That
Like,
small, flighty, nimble packneck. Dang it!
She is going faster. Like, you've seen swifts and swallows in the air, right? I have literally seen a swift do a U-turn in the air, just like,
oh yeah.
just casually. So, like,
I, just for shits and giggles, am going to roll a straight dex to see how well Korvits lands on the roof. He doesn't fall off things, but can he land with grace when he is rushing? We'll find out. Oh gosh! Come back, dice!
Oh no! Well, the dice certainly fell.
Come back! No, D20, you cannot escape your responsibilities this way!
Come back to face the flight race. I also...
That's another 4 on the
Oh, buddy!
And because I'm doing it with straight dex, it doesn't have his stupidly high modifier. So that is a 4 plus 6, that is a total of 10. He has landed, tumbled, and I feel like he just sort of lands face first, and then like his wings have gone back into scarves, and they just sort of slowly drift down and just sort of go to a limp onto him as he's skidded onto the roof of the manor, and he's just sort of lying there, and he's like,
Well, deal's a deal, you win.
I want to say my image for this. I rolled for Riina as well for funsies, and she got a 21. So, like, she probably arrived first and then, like, did the quick dip to, like, cut speed immediately and just nicely landed. And do we want to say that, like, where Korvits landed face first is, like, skidding and stopping right in front of her?
absolutely, I love that. Give this man some humble pie. Oh my god.
Oh, well, a deal is a deal. She is going to give another pat, like a pat on the head and like a cure wounds in case he needs to recover HP from the fall.
I'm fine. My ego hurts, but you know, nothing but bruising and it's fine. Deal's a deal.
Oh,
Damn!
I'm sure it'll recover soon.
Yeah, I'll just have to beat you next time. I think you got me on the hairpin turn. Oh, dang.
Well, it
That
does
was-
help having experience with it.
I suppose. I mean, I've been able to fly since day dot, but dang, you're quick. You can turn real nice.
Thank you, thank you. I mean, hey, in my and Faye's case, so I have a swallow's wings. She actually has a swift wings, so we've always had a pretty good time of doing quick turns and, well, being acrobatic in the air.
Ah, shit, yeah, and if it was a swallow versus a swift, you guys would be racing all the damn time. No wonder you kicked my ass. Okay, fair enough. Alright, what was the outcome of that? I need to take you to the best place in town
We'll
for cake.
just have to do more races again.
Shit, yeah. Yes. You know how many people in town can fly? It's actually not as many as you might think, and certainly not as fast as I can go. I love
there are
this.
barely any there are barely any in Ys who can. And,
I love this as an idea. I'll get you next time. I will absolutely get you next time, Riina. Okay, cool. Now,
sounds like a plan.
I promised you
but-
cake, didn't I?
Indeed. So, tell me, do you know which place in town has the best streets?
See, this is a really hard question because there are so many. And I mean, also, Jacques is also a really good cook. But I'm not going to impose upon him saying, hey, I lost a bet. Can you make cake for this god who just showed up? How about we go to the Ghost Host Cafe? I think that could be fun. I've not been in there for a while. And, you know, it's got this really
sure.
cool effect where you walk in and you turn into a ghost, which is weird shit, but I like it.
Actually, yes. Little Hugh told me about it, in fact. He was there previously.
Oh, well, the kid's got good taste. Come on, it's this way.
Indeed. Sounds like a delight.
And I suppose that's where we're going to leave them for the night. They're just going to head off towards the Ghost Host.
Yeah.
Korvits is going to spare no expense on buying Riina every cake that she desires at this point in time.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess something for Korvits to know is that Riina does like go and hide the halo again, and I think she's going to go for the ghost Getu this time.
Nice.
But well, congrats, Korvits. You have now a new nuisance who will come to visit you. Have fun.
I think he will. I think he will have a wonderful time. And every time that he is in Rina's presence, he is going to demand a race, and he's going to continue to do this until he wins.
Definitely, we love to see it. Riina voice enrichment.
Enrichment! Oh, this has been a
Oh,
delight. Thank you, Morski.
yeah, absolutely. This has been a ton of fun. Thank you. And thank you all for listening. And to anyone in the future, you're all awesome.
Have a wonderful rest of your time zone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.